So why did Trump create a sovereign wealth fund for the United
I would
States?
hope.
It's to add value to our balance sheet. Uh, he is doing things, innovative things that no other president has ever done. They do it in other countries.
Yeah.
Other countries have sovereign wealth fund. They take their oil reserves and they use them as a sovereign wealth fund as a way to back their own, you know, bottom line, their balance sheet. Trump is doing that. He has gotten CEOs of big corporations like Intel to give the US government 10% of their shares. Intel was having a lot of problems. They haven't been very competitive in the last 5 years. They've fallen behind. And they came to Trump and asked for some help. And he said, well, yeah, we'll help you. We also want, we'd also like some stake in your company. And the CEO was like, how about 10%? So Trump's like, that was that deal. I forget what it was valued at when he first made the deal, but it's massively increased in value in the last month as the stock price of Intel has skyrocketed. So he's adding value to our balance sheet. And he's done this with other companies. He's gotten other CEOs to give the US government a portion of their shares. And people are like, oh, that's not how we are. We're Americans. That's communism. That's fascism, where the government controls the industry. Well, the government isn't controlling the industry. Trump is simply getting some value from private industry in exchange for the services that the government is providing for these companies that are manufacturing. So Trump is doing some interesting things, adding value to our balance sheet. Is that a way that he's going to deal with our debt? Potentially. I don't know what the end game is, but he's just doing some very creative things that got to make you wonder, like, what is the end game?
I hope it's
What's
to
his
end the
plan?
IRS.
What's that?
I hope it's to also end the IRS. If you can
Well,
if there's enough generation, yeah.
he's openly talked about getting rid of the federal income tax, getting rid of the IRS, and creating the External Revenue Service,
Yeah.
where our revenue comes from other countries. Sorry, you're going to support us. If you're going to do business in our country, it's going to cost you, and it's going to benefit our citizens who are no longer taxpayers; they're tax receivers. I think
That's awesome.
if he can pull this off in his next 3 years, and if we get JD Vance or someone comes in on the heels and gets 8 years, they can do so much to change the way in which government runs. Maybe arrest half of the members of Congress and get them out and put in some new members of Congress.
Yeah. Or more.
We need a turnover in Congress and some new rules of operating. This country could turn around big time, and we could be living in that golden era that Trump talks about.
Yeah. I'm just so hopeful about all of that. And I'm keeping my eyes open as we look at the news to kind of help, just to understand what's going on, the moves that he's making, what do they mean? And I think it's just a lot of fun to watch.
It is indeed.